we are getting news as to how things are changing, how the landscape is changing for Watcher of Realms. We're finally getting a little bit more of a direct answer, and maybe in 2 weeks, this will even be explained further. But for those of you that are on Discord, and apparently they also published this in Facebook. Unfortunately, I deactivated my account, so I'm not going to go, but I'm assuming it's the same message. Essentially, what we received here is that they were essentially what they're saying is that we're trying to reinstate their presence in the U.S. market, and they do want to make sure that they get back into the Apple Store and Google Play Store. That's essential. It's essential for us to be able to keep playing the game and for the app to be updated so it doesn't become clunky, and then the United States players still have access to it because it's still a mobile game. So the game needs to be available in these two platforms. From the U.S. perspective, though, it has to conform to the laws that are currently enacted. And unfortunately, because everything is going against BitDance, there has to be a disassociation in a sense from BitDance. Now, because Nervers is currently the distributor of the game, they fall within that umbrella. Whether how things then progress here, it will be essentially to try to alleviate any type of connection that they have to those companies, so then they're able to come back into the US market. So essentially that's what we're saying here. One of the things that they're emphasizing here, as you can see here, they have teamed up with Skystone. Skystone Gaming is based here in the United States, so I did do a little bit of research because I wanted to see what they were about. And essentially this is when you go into their website and then you look at who's the team. This is essentially the two that primarily show up. When I did a quick like a YouTube search, Google search on them, Bill Wang is primarily the spokesperson. He is the one that comes up more frequently. So I imagine here in the news, we'll see this all come into play eventually. So in the meantime, though, in terms of the games that are listed under their umbrella, in terms of being a publisher for, is here like Undying, Hellcard, Tyrant's Realm, Maniac. Just to give you kind of an idea, they do have a library of games. So there is some experience here behind in terms of being able to provide not only distribution for the game, but customer service, which is essentially what's needed for the game, especially if they want to come here stateside. So that is essentially what that is. And then the other thing that I noted that is essential for something like this to work and to make sure that it has longevity is that they are based here in the United States. They are actually, their main office is listed as being in Belmont, California. So that helps a lot in terms of making sure that they have a stable presence here in the United States when all is said and done. So here, let me go back to Discord because there's some points here that I want to highlight as well, because this is going to be big. In terms of, it says here, transition plan, they're going to migrate player data. And so when those type of words are being used, this is where we're probably going to see a lot of the information being copied or being moved from Chinese servers over to American servers. So this kind of clear things out for us. It kind of gives us a little bit of faith in terms that Watcher of Realms will have a long-term presence here in the United States, and we don't really have to worry about the game all of a sudden just shutting down the stores like they did to us a couple of days ago, and they shut us out for 48 hours. So essentially what this is, they're going to try to work on migration of player data. So hopefully this just takes, like during an update, like a 2-hour thing, and then just able to migrate things. But I'm assuming that when it comes to stuff like this, it will take a while, and it takes, it's a lot of data. So definitely they're trying to figure out a way to make sure that our player data is maintained. They also say they're working on seamless transition of operation and services to maintain consistent gameplay quality. Yes, we need to be able to log in. We need to be able to make sure that we're pinging the server adequately and that there are no interruptions. So that's a big thing. Enhancement of community engagement and customer support. some of us, some of us go back and forth sometimes when it comes to customer support, and sometimes we wonder if this is language barrier type of stuff. So it certainly will help having a English speaking base, somebody that we can actually communicate these bugs and trying to make him understand what exactly is what we're seeing and what exactly it is that we're trying to disseminate to them when we do encounter that problem. But the major thing here is that they're trying to figure out a way to make sure that they can get back into the Apple Store and the Google Play Store, so laws like the pafaca does not affect their ability to distribute the game here in the United States. So to me, this is one of those threads that you're going to cut between BytedAnce and Moonton, and try to make sure that that everybody can get along in a way, and we don't suffer from having that the game being cut off in the future. So positive news. The United States players should not consider this to be just a completely out of the water solution, but it's the right first step. At least they're trying to make sure that there's a United States presence here. That's the big thing. And I'm wondering if this is going to be enough in terms of the legalese, which probably we're going to learn in 2 weeks, if this is going to be enough to make sure that this association right now that is present between Moonton and the parent company BytedAnce, if this is enough of a disassociation to make sure that we don't lose access to the game in the future. All right, that's a brief update on the situation going on as it stands with the TikTok ban. As BytedAnce tries to resolve that issue, and then watcherofrealms Moonton trying to resolve that issue as well to make sure that there is no more interruptions when it comes to watcherofrealms in the United States. Thank you all very much for tuning in and watching. I will see you all in the next video.